So today we're going to talk about shooting bags, horns, shot snakes, and essentially what I use to shoot this 1762 Grice smoothbore 75 caliber brown bass. What do you think about it, baby? Huh? What do you think? Blakely, what do you think about it? Does Chris do good work? Yeah, Chris do good work. What are you sniffing in there? Huh? Hey, what are you sniffing? So here's the shooting bag. It's made by Chris Crosby from 4 and 20 Blackbirds. He's a local guy here around Kentucky. He does really good work. This is a Russian drill hemp canvas shooting bag, all hand sewn. He coated it with a solution to make it pretty well waterproof, and it's got the sling on it. If you guys like this bag, check him out. He does a really good job. So that's the shooting bag. This is my shot snake. I prefer to carry it separately because I like to shoot a smaller bag. Seems that is a whole lot more. What the original examples are a whole lot smaller. This is my shot snake I made out of some bed ticking, some pig skin, antler, just a wooden spout, and some hemp rope. And then my powder horn is just a generic one that you find in all the 18th century stores. I did get a decent hemp strap, so I'm still working on that. All this stuff is a work in progress. I'm still fairly new to the 18th century side of living history, but we'll talk about mainly what's in here in the shot pouch. So first off, tied off to the strap, I've got two measures. This come from my buddy Mike Gilkey. He when I first started, he gave me this. This one I made out of a piece of river cane. This one's 70 grains. This is 100 grains. Inside, I've got a ball bag with 735 ball for my .75 brown bass smooth bore. I shoot 735 balls, and that's just in a generic ball bag. I keep on one side, I keep some tow. On the far left side, in a hemp drawstring bag, I keep a good amount of wasp nest. You guys can see that very well. Good size bag of wasp nest. And those two for obviously for wadding. In the bottom, more towards the bottom, it's hard to see, I've got two containers, and all the way at the bottom I lined the whole bottom with tow just because it's so useful and you can use it for fire making, cleaning, and shooting. I've got a old char cloth tin that I put some patches in. In the bottom of that I've got some wax impregnated wool wads my buddy Jeff gave me. So the deal with the, I know these are not historically proven to be used in smoothbores, but I kind of find it hard to believe that a guy shooting a rifle who also had a smoothbore never patched a ball in his smoothbore gun. But just a disclaimer. And then in this one, I've got some mink oil or mink grease. I need to upgrade to some. I've got some Ramshackle Homestead bear grease in the back. I need to mix with that some of the beeswax so I can put it in here. In the back, it's got one compartment, main compartment, and a sleeve in the back. Sleeve in the back's just got the basic necessities of tools. I've got a brown bass tool with a hammer, the screwdriver. It's got the worm on the back of it, and then inside here, it's got an awl or punch. And I've got a turn screw that I got from my buddy Terry Scott. The guy who actually made this is no longer living, and so it's a good piece to have. It was made out of good steel, so it's not going to completely mar up your screw, but it's also not going to roll your edge over on your turn screw. A lot of the cheaper ones, I had one that just completely rolled the flat edge. And then the very bottom of it, I keep two spare flints for the bass. And that's really it for the shooting bag. I try to keep it small, try to keep it compact. most of the guys who carried them, they were only carrying enough for a few shots or one trip. They weren't carrying enough for a whole long hunt per se. You got to remember these guys had 2 to 3 horses with them, so their ball modes and all that other good stuff, their powder supply, their powder supply horn would be on a horse. They wouldn't be carrying all of it in their shooting bag. So I tried to keep it small. It's a wonderful bag. I've used it for a few times now, and I'm really happy with it. Powder horn is just a generic powder horn. This one, I believe, come from Track of the Wolf is where this one came from. It's just a generic, plain Jane, run-of-the-mill powder horn that you see everywhere. Maybe one day I'll get around and make my own. But with a hemp strap. The shot snake that I have is just one that I made. It's just got a pigskin ends on it. One end's got the antler plug and just a wooden spout. I really prefer this method. I've used it now for a couple of little small woods walks and squirrel hunt, and I really like having this separate, because rather than having to grab a shot bag like this out of this, measuring it, putting it back, you have this already slung, and it's just simply pulling the plug, filling up your measure, and you're good to go. One of the things I forgot to mention when I was talking about the powder measures is my vent pick and my pan whisk. These are just a generic one, like I said, not made by anybody special, but this is a typical one that you see at 18th century stores, and just the standard mainstream run-of-the-mill set there. I recently made a video for the historic group on our Facebook page for our county here in Western Kentucky, and I was demonstrating on how the guys would have loaded their smoothbores on the frontier. So if you seen that video, this is the actual hunting bag that I was loading that smoothbore flintlock out of. And if you guys would like to purchase one of these or a similar pouch like that, make sure you contact Chris Crosby, and he'll make you some really nice stuff. I'm really happy with this one.